when they say just do a spaghetti bolognese, you say, oh, this is offending me. But it's not true. You have to change your mind and say, I have to do the best spaghetti bolognese for a child because it's...
Welcome to the Private Chef podcast, serving the 1%. I'm your host, Hannes Henche, and on our show we speak to the best chefs, how they honed in on their skills to excel in the industry, and what it takes to work as a private chef for some of the most exclusive clients in the world. Welcome back to the Private Chef podcast, where we talk to some of the most talented private chefs and personal service professionals in the industry. Today we have Paolo Balducci. Paolo is a private chef based in Marbella, Spain, originally from Italy, and is well experienced in providing luxury experiences to high-profile clients. He also worked alongside Michelin-starred chef Pietro Lehmann. In this episode, we will talk to Paolo about his passion for the finest food and why he enjoys working with exceptional clients in villas along the coastline of the Mediterranean Sea. Your food definitely looks like art. Welcome to the show, Paolo.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. It's a great pleasure. I think I am the first Italian in your podcast, so I'm proud to be
first.
No, probably there was another one before.
I have one more, but it's not published yet, actually.
Chef Lamanda, yes.
Yeah. So, but yes, one of the few Italians that we have yet.
Okay, but I'm Italian. But as you told you in the introduction, I live in Marbella, Spain. Okay, so. I am really Mediterranean. I love Mediterranean. It's wonderful. We have wonderful products from the sea and from the mountain, from the earth. So it's really nice to be a chef in the Mediterranean area. So I'm really happy about this.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I actually spent 2 seasons and a winter in Mallorca, back in the days, in my early kitchen days. So, the Mediterranean cuisine, as well as the ingredients, it's just one of a kind. I mean, the kind of products we were able to have on the island, it was just beautiful. So I can understand that you fell in love with it.
Yes, Mallorca also is really beautiful. It's another super place for personal chef, because there is a lot of tourism, mainly from Germany. So because in Spain, it's divided. Costa del Sol, where I live, that is from Malaga to Marbella, is mainly British. So historically, all the tourism was from United Kingdom, and Mallorca is mainly from tourists coming from Germany. Now in Marbella things are changing very fast because we have different things that coming. Is the Brexit, for example, that was strong things for the British community. So most of them had to return to England, of course, because now they are out of Europe. So there is a lot of problem to have a residence here in Spain. So only people that live here from many years can stay here, and a lot of them, unfortunately for us, because they were good clients, had to return in the United Kingdom. But there is a new wave of people coming. There is people from Scandinavia, for example. A lot of people from Scandinavia stay in Marbella just during the winter time. So they are not people that come from summer, from holiday time. They stay in Marbella just from, October to March. Why? Because in Scandinavia it's very cold. And in Marbella, the weather also in December is 20 degrees. So they prefer to stay here in this period because of course it's not a peak season. Marbella is quiet. There is not too much people. They enjoy a lot the sun, drink, and everything. And they prefer to. They just buy a home and then they come when they want. During the summer, we have a lot of people from every part of the world, and this is the best part of my job because I met people from every part of the world. Every week I change family, or every night because I do a lot of dinner, just dinner service, and so it's a little bit different from a chef that works for a family all the time. There is pro and contra, okay? Because if you work for a family, you know them very well, you know the kitchen very well, so everything, it could be a little bit complicated at the beginning. It depends from the family, but at the end of the day, if the family is fine, they are nice people, you know very well the kitchen, you know the providers, the suppliers, so your weekly time is better. The stress of a chef like me is that every night you meet new people that could be good or bad, and you have to go in another kitchen new, so you spend the first hour to say where is this, where is the pan, where is the pots, the plates, the dishes, the glass. So there is a little bit of stress, but this is the pro for me is that I met a lot of people, many of them, 80% are very nice people, because people when are in holiday, they are happy. So I work mainly for happy people. Yes, because this is a dream, you know? When you go to a place that you like a tourist, you say, I would like to live here permanently and not to be like these people that come and at the end of the holiday week they have to say goodbye, and I'm still here. So this is nice. And also the problem of the kitchen, if you have some experience, I take with me 2 large bags. I have everything. I have, of course, all my kitchen knife, but I have everything. I could cover any kitchen. So the problem of the kitchen was a problem at the really beginning of my experience, because for example, one time the induction hob was not working, so I have to come home to take my gas stove. Now my gas stove is always with me, so with the experience, like in every job, in every work, with the experience, you take all the things with you in order to avoid any problems, because my goal is to have zero problem during a service. So to avoid this, I had to use my experience. I had to learn from my mistakes, because I did mistakes as everyone's, but I think that during this conversation something will arise about that, because I took some time to have a look to the previous podcast, and so I am prepared that we will talk about some of my experience here in Marbella.
So how did you get to Marbella from Italy? What was your original journey?
Yeah, if I have to talk about this, I prefer to start about how I become a chef, because it's a really nice story, because I am an outsider in this field, no? I am not in this industry of the personal private chef. I don't have the classical training that many chefs like you and the other one you interviewed have. I've not attended any hotel management school. I have mainly self-taught. My first training was a degree in chemistry, okay, which is useful now in the profession, because a lot of what we do is chemistry. You agree with me? For example, if we think about pastry, chemistry is really important. And in my past, I lived two lives. Okay, I am one of the lucky people that could say that has lived two different lives in one life for the moment. So in my past, there is a career in the music industry for about 10 years. I started very young, from the 20 to 30, just to say this. So I was a musician, I was a DJ, I work in television. So this is in Italy, when I lived in Italy. And food was not my passion until I was 27. Okay, I was one of the people, really the bad people, that now I cook for them, like football player. I work with a lot of football players in Marbella, mainly from Premium League. They are very nice people, but they have no idea of food. They are not foodie. They say, oh, I don't know, just cook for me an hamburger or something like this. I was one of that guy, okay? No idea about the food, no interesting about the food. So my passion for cooking was born basically for two reasons. When I met my mother-in-law, I fell in love with her cuisine. She was from south of Italy, Naples. Her food was amazing, so I would start to say, oof, incredible. She did not like to cook, but she was a really good cook. And I say, wow, interesting. And then from restaurant, I start to try Asian food. And Asian food really impressed me. Oof. It was the spark and the desire to do something in this sector. So in the meantime, my musical career was at the end, because my band, that was a very popular band in Italy, we had some change inside. We was a ska band. I don't know if you are familiar
I know what ska means.
With the ska music. Yeah, there is many good band in the United States, and I played a lot with a lot of them, like Lakers, New York Ska Jazz Ensemble, something a bit. And this band wanted to change, to move to reggae, to different music, so I left them. And I start my journey in the culinary, in the gastronomy. So I start from zero. I was 27, okay, now I'm 49. So in the last 22 years, I was 100 dedicated to food, okay. So I start to attending professional cooking classes and courses, professional. And I was lucky. I think I am a lucky guy, because every time I dream something, it becomes reality. When I was a child, I remember that one afternoon, I started to sing, and I say, one time in my life, I will be a singer, and I will be in front of thousands of people. And it's happened. It's happened because after many years, I was a singer of this band, okay?
Okay, let me ask you something here.
Yes.
I think
dreams come reality.
That your dreams, you keep them more than once. I think you might dream it once, but I think that you think about the dream over and over again. Is that true or false? I would say that you keep that vision in front of yourself and you keep working towards it, don't you?
Yes. So you are telling that if you work on your dreams, it's sometimes it becomes reality.
I think there's two components to that. First, you have to hold the vision. Like, because we have so many different dreams every night, you could say, and then people have so many ideas about what they want, but you also have to hold the vision. Like, you have every day, you kind of have to have that vision. Like, okay, Paolo, I'm going to sing in front of 1,000 people at one time. And if every day you hold that vision and you take action towards it, and then I think it can become a reality. But if we just have all kinds of different dreams every day, and every day we go in a different direction, I don't think it's likely to happen.
Yes, I'm totally agree with you. But I think that you need also some luck, because unfortunately for some people in this world it's not possible to realize dreams. So every day of my life I think that I am a lucky guy, because I really realize what I want in my life. So in my first part of life was the music, my passion, music industry, my passion. And then I start to dream about food, about be a chef. It was difficult because at 27 years you are already old, because many of you start very young to be a chef, to work in the kitchen. So for me it was a difficult trial to arrive here. So now I enjoy a lot more, because I know how difficult it was and how difficult it was to realize this dream. But now I am very happy about this. Returning to this, so I start to go to professional cooking course, just to lay the foundation, because I was very, in Spain they say green, okay? When you don't know anything about they say soy verde. Okay, I was totally green about food. So I have to start from the beginning. Okay, I did it. I studied a lot. I work close to good chef. You in your introduction you talk about Pietro Lehmann, okay, because I was really interested in Asian food and vegan food, because at that time of my life I was vegetarian. Okay, I have been vegetarian for 10 years. I'm not vegetarian anymore, but I have been. So my idea it was to be a vegetarian vegan chef. So I had the opportunity to participate to a stage with Pietro Lehmann. It is the only vegan restaurant in Italy with 2-star Michelin star. Is incredible. He's not Italian. He's from Switzerland, from the Italian part of Switzerland. Okay, and he grow everything from himself. Also, the water come from the mountain of Lugano, close to, it's half an hour from Milan, where I was living, and I learned a lot from him. I was so interested to the food that from every person that I met, I learned like a sponge. I learned a lot, because I know that when you know something, you have to share with other people. And now I'm doing. After 22 years, now I share my knowledge with everyone. Here in Marbella, when there is low season in winter, so for example yesterday, we are in November, now December, and we are waiting for the Christmas time that usually is very busy. I do cooking classes. There is a cooking school in Marbella, and I am the teacher for all the Asian classes. And I love to share my knowledge with people, because this is how I know knew the things from the other chef. I don't like chef or in general person that do not share knowledge, because it's really important. First of all, because we have a tradition. If we return to talk about food, we have a tradition that we need to continue with the future generation. We don't want to lose any recipe from our grandmother, from our chef. So I want to see in the people the same hungry that I had when I was younger to know something from this chef. So Pietro Lehmann was really important for me, but it was not the only chef that I crossed in my journey. Okay, I'm talking about 20 years ago now, so it's a long story. So I start to attend this professional course. Then I opened my space. When I was ready, I opened my space. It was not a restaurant at the beginning because I have a different idea. We start to do social eating. That in Italy, I think that. We were the first in Italy to experiment social eating. I know that in United States were very popular already in 20 years ago, but in Italy was the first time that people, instead to go to a restaurant, come to my space. I was the cook. They are people all around the table, everyone from different experience. They know each other. They start a lot of friendship, and so it was a great experience. And parallel to this, I had a cooking school where I invited popular chef, and I started to do my cooking class of Asian food because at that time I was already a good Asian chef. But my idea was to grow in the Asian food. So I start to try to enter in every Chinese kitchen restaurant in my country. But I know how it is in the United States, but Chinese community in Europe is very close. So it's very difficult that an European could enter in this kitchen to work there, to learn something. So this was my problem at that stage, because I was really interested to know the secrets of Chinese food, because for me Chinese food is the best food of the world, because it's so wide. China is larger than Europe. Every region of China is bigger than a country in Europe. I was lucky again, okay? My dream became reality because I met a chef from Hong Kong, and he was a very good chef, and he was available to share with me everything. And we start from that, and we do business together. We create a really nice idea to fusion Asian and Mediterranean food. So our brand was Asian Crossover, because we use Mediterranean products with Asian techniques. Okay? And we brought this to all levels. We had a restaurant, catering service for big company like Vodafone, like Deutsche Bank, and also we had food trucks, street food. It was a super experience because I learned a lot. I had a lot of responsibility in this, so it was good, so good. Too much. Too much, because in 2016 I was quite tired. tired of working too much. When you work Chinese, they are really nice people. They are incredible because, but they work too much. They work 7 days per week, 24 hours per day. Many people die during working. So I'm not Chinese. I'm an Italian. Okay, I'm not a lazy Italian. I trust you. I am really, really committed to my work. I can work 24 hours per day if necessary. I did it, but I'm not Chinese. I'm sorry. So after many years of this, very grateful because it was a really great experience. Because after that, I become a chef. I become a cook before a chef. I had all the responsibility of the street food and the catering. So it was very nice. But as often happen in the restaurant industry, you know better than me, sometimes we have moments of burning. And I think that in 2016, I was totally burned. So from one day to another, trust me, from one day to another, I did not plan this. I left everything. I sold to this man my part of the business, and I left Italy to come to Marbella. Why Marbella? Okay, now, sorry. Now I start to answer to your question. Okay, there is a long introduction, but I think if we are talking about a journey, there is some journey that are longer than other, and my one is quite longer till now because now it's easier. So I was in Marbella for like a tourist, like in holiday. At the end of the 19, okay? It was the year when, I remember very well because I was here when Princess Diana died in Paris. And I remember
1997.
Marbella like 1997, yes. I remember that Marbella was a beautiful place. And so I decided to move to Spain. Also for the language barrier, okay? As everyone already now know that my English is not the best of the world, and Italian and Spanish has a very similar languages, and it's not so true because it took a lot to learn very well Spanish, because as any language, okay, there are Latin language, they are very similar but not so similar. But in any case, I use more English than Spanish in Spain to live my life. So I decided to move to Spain. When I arrived, it was June. And the season in Marbella, the season starts after Easter. They have Semana Santa, that is the week before Easter. Then it starts the summer season, and it lasts in the end of October. So I try to find work in the restaurant industry everywhere, but they said we are already full because it's June and you have to wait the next season.
Yeah.
And it was a problem because I need money to live as everyone. So I start to think about that Marbella was a destination for wealthy people, rich people. So when I was in Italy, I met the personal chef of Silvio Berlusconi, that everyone knows. Silvio Berlusconi was very popular. I don't know if it's good or bad. And I said,
but popular.
Okay. Yeah, so popular. Everyone knows Silvio Berlusconi. And so I decided to start something in this private service, because wealthy tourists and I start to offer my Asian cuisine because I was mainly focused on Asian. Okay, so starting to work in this, I discovered many things that I had to improve, because when you are a private chef, a personal chef, it's really different if you have your own restaurant. Because when you are your own restaurant, at the end of the day, you cook always the same from 10 to 25 recipe. You are very strong on this. You are very good on your star dishes. But when you are a private personal chef, you have to do everything at high level, from the breakfast to the last dessert of the dinner. Okay? So this was my problem at the beginning. I have to start again because for me, for example, breakfast was nothing. I have no idea, because yes, I can do good eggs, but not at the level that these people need. So I have to start again to expand my knowledge. Okay, and it was really good for me, because now after 7 years I am complete. Okay, and I am sure that I would like to suggest to any chefs that own a restaurant and have to take some time of his life to work in the private industries, private sector of this industry. Could be a yacht if they like to stay on the sea, could be villa chef, because they will discover another world. I discovered a new world. For me, it was completely new. I was coming from the Chinese kitchen where everything was incredible, crazy, and I found myself in this tidy kitchen, really well, which really for oven, everything was good, but I was lost. I start again. So it was another step in my career, and now I'm really happy to have this burning in 216 and to be here, because again, I learned a lot. So I'm very happy.
Yeah. So what are some of your favorite clients like? And you said earlier that a lot of the UK clients kind of had to move. How do you maintain a good client base, and how do you engage with them, especially now that it seems that there's a certain level of rotation where there's new people come into the area?
Yes, it's when you work in a tourist station, in a tourist city, it's very difficult to have the same client. Okay, sometimes there is client that like a lot Marbella, I don't know, they like a lot to have the same holiday every year, and they come every year. So I have some returning clients, okay? But usually every year you expect to have different clients every week. In this work, you are a personal chef, so you don't work for a special family. You don't have to create a relationship with your clients. You just have to do the best in the few hours that you work for them. So it could be difficult, but you have to be experienced in this, because, for example, during the summer I do a lot of one-shot dinner. So when you have a one-shot dinner, you have to do the best for your client, and at the end of the dinner, if you want a good tip, you have to satisfy them very well. Okay. Sometimes you work for them 1 week, okay? Full service, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as I told you before. And in this case, my suggestion is to have a wide repertoire, so a wide idea of a knowledge of all kind of cuisine. This is what I have now, because many chefs that are working here, they are very good with Spanish food. They do paella, they do all the Spanish things, and this can be good for one night. But people does not expect paella every night, okay? So when you stay with a family 2 weeks, they expect a culinary journey, and this is what I offer. Because as you can know, I can do very, very good Asian food. I am Italian, so I know very well all Italian food. Spanish, of course, because I live in Spain, and also because people ask me a lot of Spanish food. So many experience that I offer is the classical tapas and paella, the classical. Because when you are in Spain, you don't want sushi, okay? You don't want paella. You want paella. But when a client stay with me more than one day and start to talk with me, and I told my story, my experience, the fusion that I can offer, they start to say, do what you want. Do what you want. Surprise me. And this is the best sentences that I can hear when someone say, do what you want. Because
I think that's true for most chefs.
Because you're a lucky guy. Yes, of course. You are a lucky guy because
then you can go to the market tomorrow morning and let yourself be inspired by the market, and you get the freshest fish and the freshest produce, and you create something great. And it's not prescripted too much, and you're not limited.
Yeah, many times you have a limited budget, and this is amazing because it's like you are a child when you are a child, okay, and they offer to do what you want. Yes, it's very good. It's incredible. So when these people say this, I start to offer my Asian food. Then I am very good with Middle Eastern because I like a lot vegetarian, vegan. I vary a lot. I try to offer them as much as possible. I want them that every night it's like a journey. Okay, they are in Spain, but then they have to forget they are in Spain. One night they are in Japan. One night they are in I don't know, in Turkey or so. And they say the food is okay. The people that really like the food, that enjoy to eat, they said it's incredible. So my suggestion for chefs that wants to do services for tourists that stay more than 1 day for weeks is to have a very good knowledge of every kind of food. Because you have to cover, of course, allergies, so you have to be good on vegan, you have to be good on gluten-free, of course, this basically, it's really important, but also you have to be very good.
How do you present them? Yeah, how do you present them with the multiple choices? Do you have a folder of pictures? How do you usually have that conversation with your clients, to make them aware what you're capable of? Do you usually send them like a PDF with a bunch of pictures?
Yes,
or how do you have that conversation?
I have, when I present myself, usually I work a lot with agencies, okay? We have to talk also about this. I have a lot of clients that come from my website, but it's really important when you are in a place, and I learned this in not the first year, the second and the third year, is to create good collaboration with real estate agency that rent a villa. Because there are a lot of clients that try to concentrate everything on the concierge of the villa. They said, I want a villa, okay? I want a chef, I want a driver, I don't want to have problem, do everything. So this villa manager, these real estates are really important that know you, that you are a good chef, that you are good to work for wealthy people, for this kind of people, that you are a discreet person, because this is another argument that we have to talk about, because in Marbella it's really important to be discreet. And I usually offer my presentation, so it's not like a resume, it's more a presentation of my story, my experience, and my brand, because I offer a Mediterranean, okay? I offer this Mediterranean and Asian. So I have a fine dining menu that present me. And this is usually for one-shot dinner. Then I have a menu for family, including a lot of dishes, also good for child, because many family rent the villa and they have a lot of children, so you have to do the menu for the adults and the menu for the children, okay? And sometimes it's more difficult to work for the children than for the adults, because children are picky, are fussy, so it's very difficult to work with them. But also in this I had to work a lot, because it's not easy. When you are trained to a high level, and it was when I left Italy, I was at high level. When they say just do a spaghetti bolognese, you say, oh, this is offending me. But it's not true. You have to change your mind and say, I have to do the best spaghetti bolognese for a child, because it's like a customer for me. It's the son of my customer. And if my customer are sometimes give a good tip to me, not for the food for them, not because the food for them was not good, but because for them is more important the food for the children. Because they say, at home it's very difficult to feed them. Can you help me? Can you try to feed them? Okay, I don't know them, but I try. And 90% of the time, it's successful, and they are so happy. Oh, I never saw my children eat. I'm very happy because they just eat junk food, and now they are eating homemade pizza, spaghetti, Milanese chicken with homemade fries. So they are very happy. So sometimes you have to be very focused also on this when you work with family. And then I have another menu that I call experience. It's an experience menu where, for example, I offer a Nobu style experience with all the Japanese raw fish. I offer a Middle Eastern experience, a Korean experience. So I have different menu that I offer in order that these people can choose every night what they want to eat. When I am lucky, they say do what you want, and I plan the week for them with a journey in the food. So it's very good because it's not boring. It's not boring because you don't have to cook every night the same dish. That sometime in a restaurant environment it could be a problem if you are not very passionate.
Yeah. So what are some of your favorite experiences working in the villas? What do you love about being there?
Working in the villas. Talking about the experience, when we meet nice people, when I meet nice people, it's always a good experience. When I meet people that start that they don't want to talk to you because they look at you like you are, service, okay?
Just a chef.
At the end of the holiday, I don't want to say that we become friends, because I will be never friends of my customer. Some of them tried to break this to come over. Okay, okay. Now, from clients, we are friends, and I want to invite you in my villa. I want to stay with me. I want that during the service you go to the swimming pool. No, because there are some chefs, I know this, that accept this. Okay, they use the swimming pool of the clients during the service, during the
right.
off hours of the service. For me, this is 0% professional. It's very bad. You have to be very kind. You say, thanks a lot. That's very kind. I really appreciate it, but I'm here to work. I'm not in holiday. You are in holiday, okay? So sometimes when these people do this, it's really embarrassing for me, because 99% of the time they are nice people, because only a good person do this. But you have to resist, you have to be professional, you have to stay on your side, that is the kitchen, okay? If they come to the kitchen and they want to spend some time to discuss about, for example, during the COVID and the vaccine, there was a lot of clients that loved to talk about the vaccine, the COVID, the problems. And you have to be kind, and you have to took time off your work, because you can imagine you are working in the kitchen, you have a dinner planned, you have to do a lot of preparation. In my case, a lot of preparation, because my dishes are really a bit complicated, and you have to take some of your time to spend and talk with the clients.
Yeah, but that's part of the job, right? You have to.
This is part of the job.
For some clients, that's part of it. Yeah.
And it's good, because when happen, it's because the clients likes you, like a person, want to share their problems. Sometimes we have clients that they have told us about their private life. So when you are a chef that work for these people, you have to be very discreet. This is really important. First of all, if they talk about private life, it's okay, but it stay in you. Never talk with another clients about other clients. That I met, because I work with famous football player, for example. I work for important person, but there is an NDA in many cases that I have signed, so it's confidential. But also where there is not agreement, I don't want to talk about my clients with other clients. So when these people confess themselves with me or my assistant, we have to be as discreet as possible. And when I told that in Marbella is really important, because Marbella, as in many other places like south of France or Mykonos, or just to talk about Europe, United States, Fort Lauderdale, it's place where also famous people came. So you have the responsibility. They paid a lot, not only for the food, but also if they don't care, you have to care about confidentiality of your agreement. Okay. Also, if they don't care, because if people talk about private life, they don't care. They don't care. So they give it to you to keep the secret. Okay. So this is really important, and this is another part of your profession that for other chefs, for example, that work just for one family all the time is different, because they are not exposed to this every day. I have every day, every week of my working life to manage also this. So to manage the kitchen, the food, the supplier, just for 1 week, for example. I work for the longest period that I worked for a family here was 4 months. And it was during the COVID, because this family come here, every restaurant was closed, and they was very scared about the COVID, so they decided to stay in the villa 4 months, and I worked for them 4 months. But it was just the longest period. It's very difficult to have a long period when you are a chef in a tourist area. So you work just for 1 week, then the people go. So this confidentiality is really important, because when you met a lot of people, it's easier to do mistakes with people. Okay, because not all the people is good. For example, there are many party people in Marbella, and you have to manage also with this.
That's for sure.
People, well, you know better than me. I'm just talking about my experience, but you know better than me that these people sometimes could be nasty. You have to be really patient, because also if you notice that they don't care about food, and you are not happy about this, because you took all the time to cook for them and you expect something from them, but they are not here. They are not there for food. I was like them, so I don't have to complain. When I was 20, I was more interested in music and party than in food. So when I work for these people, it's like work for me when I was 20. I don't have to complain. But as a chef now, I'm not so happy when I enter in the villa and after 30 seconds I realize, oh, these are party people, so they will not enjoy my food. In any case, you have to do the best every time do the best. This motivates myself a lot.
Well, Paolo, this has been super interesting. We're running out of time here. Thank you so much for taking the time, and sharing your personal story around your life's journey in Marbella and before that in the music industry. And where can people connect with you?
I have an Instagram profile that it's the one that where I put all my picture or my reels, because now Instagram it's more important. That is Personal Chef Marbella.
Nice. You're like the personal chef in Marbella. We'll also make sure to add these to the show notes.
Okay. Thank you so much. It was probably I talk a lot. Sorry, because as I told you at the beginning, it's not my problem for me to be on a camera. I talk a lot. I did television. My only problem was the language. I hope people understand what I try to. I try to share with them my experience, the mistake I made, so that will be useful for someone that wants to start to do this career like a chef in a tourist area, because it's really different to be a chef for a household family.
Yeah, definitely. It's a different ballgame, and I think what you said about being in touch with the real estate agents that do rent out those spaces, the concierge is very, very important, and have that local brand the way you have it.
Yes, totally.
Thank you for joining us at the Private Chef podcast. If you know any highly skilled chefs that want to take their life to the next level, make sure to share this podcast with them. And if you enjoyed this episode, click subscribe and check out our upcoming episodes. Thank you for listening.